This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.
Welcome to the Life in Football podcast, baby. I'm your host, Mike Feig.
And this your coach, Colin Moore. You know we loving life and enjoying football.
Top-notch coaches all around the world. Top-notch coaches all around the world. Today we got Coach Lock on, Coach Carlos Locklyn, and he represents for them Hilltoppers, West Kentucky. He's a running back coach for them, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He also spreads a great message and is powered through God. And he's a coach that has experience at the high school level. He did his thing in the M-Town, Memphis, Tennessee, 901. He did it up there in high school for about 8 years, and then he did it in the college level as well for the Memphis Tigers. And then he went on down there to them Florida State Seminoles, and he did a little time down there with Coach Norvell, and now he's the running back coach at West Kentucky. And not to mention, he's an athlete, y'all. When he was in high school playing ball, he came out and he come out of the great state of Alabama, the Gump Town, 334 knocking at your door. And he did a phenomenal job in high school. And he went on and did his thing at Chattanooga, Tennessee. And he played his college ball there. And would y'all believe, one year he led the team in interception where he tied for the lead. And then the next year, he led the team in rushing. So he was a cornerback one time, then the next time he was a running back. And this in college. So this why I say he was a top-notch athlete when he played ball. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let C-Mo bring him on.
Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm blessed and very highly favored this just to be up this morning.
Hey, it's a blessing to have you on too, Coach, and you hit that right on the money. Now, Coach, I'm gonna jump right from what Mike said, because to me, at the college level, playing DB and running back, that means you was nice out there. You was a playmaker hands down. So I want to hear how that went, just to go from running back, DB running back. How did that play out?
I just love the game of football. I was always a good athlete, and my first couple of years at Chat, I was at running back, and I started at running back. Then I had one of my good friends who played receiver named Marco Shepard had passed away in a car accident, and I remember going to coach. I was like, Coach, I'm gonna go play DB, because they used to always mess around with some of the receivers and covering. I said, I'm gonna go play DB. And my coach thought I was at the time Buddy Green was my head coach. He thought I was playing, so I went out to his house on the golf course there in Chattanooga, and we talked about it. And I don't think he was reluctant to move me from running back, but I wanted to do something different. So I went over there and I learned how to play corner, and had a pretty good run at it from my junior year into my 4 games in my senior year. Then after that, coach came to me and said, "Look, we need help running the ball." So I switched over to running the ball the last 6 or 7 games or so, and I think I got conference. I got player of the week in the conference 3 straight times. I end up putting up over 1,300 yards of total offense, rushing and receiving in those games, and that's put me on the NFL guys much more on their radar, knowing that I could play both.
Now, Coach, saying that, you would have been on, if I'm a scout, I definitely would have been on you ASAP seeing all that. Now, you did get to go to the NFL, but at the same time, you actually got into coaching as well. So how did those two match? Like when you got the NFL shot, and then when did you know you wanted to go to coach ball?
When I got that opportunity in the spring of 2000, at that time, at that time he was just an area scout, Jerry Reese. He ended up being a general manager for the Giants. That's who came in, got me out of Chattanooga. I went to the Giants, and unfortunately, it was a short stay due to my injury. Couldn't get cleared to perform. But to be honest with you guys, that's when God started working on my life. Um, and when they say it's a marathon, it's a process for your season. Well, my process took a long time. I mean, a long time. And I wanted nothing to do with football after that. I worked out the next spring in 2001 for some teams there in Chattanooga. It just didn't work out. And I ended up playing arena football for a while, played for the Memphis Explorers and Manchester Wolves, and I finished up, with the Explorers. But I didn't want anything to do with football because I had worked all my life to get to that point. And you talking about I was angry about the things that happened because I knew I was just as good an athlete or running back or whatever I had to play as anybody that was playing. I just wanted an opportunity to get on that stage. So I really didn't want to coach ball, wanted anything to do with ball. But when I moved here in Memphis in 2004, I worked different jobs and got in law enforcement. And I was fortunate enough to start coaching in the local neighborhoods here, the local high schools here. And man, that's when God started working on my life and started putting me in position for my calling.
Now, Coach, I hear you saying God played a significant role in your life, and I want to know who else played a major role in your life and how it was growing up and who helped you to become the person that you are today.
Man, man, this been a waking up this morning and thought about the man who was poured into me. People know my story of you know uh, you know getting in college football, the journey I had myself to walk on coach. Well, I've been on a walk on to start my life. Um, man, my mom had me at an early age, around about 13, 14 years old. I was denied by my father, who lived right across the street from my mom. Me and my father had a relationship now, but I was denied by my father. Said I wasn't his. So the only man that I knew to step up and be my father was two guys. That was my father's father, and called him Papa Seals, and he died in some years ago, in the early 2000s. And the next guy was my mom's younger brother, who was around 13 years older than me, and that was my Uncle Ray. Most kids grew up wanting to be like their fathers or some kind of sports athlete. I grew up wanting to be like my Uncle Ray. He was my hero. The man that I am today, everything about me, from my spiritual foundation, for my love of music, for my love of the great artist Prince, all that come from me idolizing my uncle. And yesterday I lost my uncle. I lost my hero yesterday. He passed away at 57 years old there in Georgia, where my mom had been keeping him. And man, it has hit me. It hit me hard because since I've been a little boy, that man has poured into me so much. When I was coming up, being, the son of a young teenage girl, I would often hear that, I wasn't going to be anything. My mom wasn't nothing. I wasn't going to be nothing. But my uncle poured into me tremendously. He gave me discipline. He gave me a foundation. He gave me structure. He gave me love. Um, he always used to tell me, like, you're going to be somebody. God got a calling on your life. I was with my uncle when I first got baptized there at my local church, Morning Pilgrim, there in Montgomery, Alabama. I was with my uncle. Every significant step in my life has been with my uncle. When I first arrived at Chattanooga, it was my uncle that dropped me off there in Chattanooga. He just told me, said, God got some great things in store for you. You just got to keep your faith and trust that in due season it will come, and it's going to be on God's time and not your time. So yesterday, man, I lost my hero. I lost my reason for me being who I am, because that guy right there, he wasn't just my uncle. He wasn't just my best friend. He was like a father to me. So I lost him yesterday, and like I said, I'm gonna miss him.
Coach, that was an amazing story, and I'm so proud of you for making it through that, just telling us that, because a lot of young men really need to hear that. And a lot of young adults, especially out here in the football world, because a lot of people get caught up in themselves and get so caught up in the hype of the situation, who getting recruited well, who going well, instead of really appreciating the moment and appreciating the situation. So I gotta thank you for sharing that with us. Now, coach, if you could give us a little background how it was for you playing ball in high school and how you ended up choosing UT Chat to play ball at.
To be honest with you, like I said, I have always been, as some young folks said, the guy. I played there in school. No, I wasn't an average player. I was way above average. I was a good running back in high school, but I also shared the ball with another phenomenal running back. My One of my best friends, his name was Trezevant Shakuma. He played there at Arkansas, big running back, fast. But we shared the ball with each other in high school. And the truth be told, I played fullback. No, I played fullback because the things that were required for the fullback to do to catch the ball, and I was just the better athlete. And I also returned kicks, punts. I did everything. So there, I was like I said, I'm forever connected to that guy. It was either Locklyn and Shakuma. We were the guys in the city running the ball at that time in Montgomery. And our senior year, we went 8-2, and we didn't even make it to the playoffs. So that was the end of our season. We won 8 games, lost 2, and didn't make it to the playoffs at the time, the way things were set up there in Alabama. But man, I enjoyed my time there in Montgomery, working hard. But my skill set and my talent said Power 5 bigger school, but my grade said something else. I lack discipline in that area. Of course, like I said, I've been with my uncle since I've been 12. My uncle put it on me to pretty much, it's on you. It's what you want to do. If this is your dream, you're going to motivate yourself in the classroom. You're going to motivate yourself working out. Well, I motivated myself working out. And then, coming in my senior year, that's when the NCAA flipped to the slide and the GPA, and I got caught up in that. But I ended up going to Chattanooga. I'm so thankful for Coach Lorenzo Ward, who's there at Chattanooga now as a defensive coordinator, and Rusty Wright, who's the head coach. All those guys are on staff when I got there to Chattanooga, UTC in '96. Man, Chattanooga was the best place for me, man. It was absolutely amazing. The friends that I made there, the coaches that was on staff there who are currently in the profession now, to Corey Edmonds, who's the head strength coach at Kentucky, to Ricky Logo, who's the D-line coach at Washington State, to Shane Montgomery, who's now the offensive coordinator at Buffalo, to Donnie Kilpatrick, who's the OC now at East Carolina. I came across some great guys. Dave Merritt, who's now the secondary coach with the Kansas City Chiefs. The list go on and on of great coaches that I came across at that school, and some of the players that I played with. It was the best place for me. And also I met my wife there. So that's forever changed my life. So if I had to do it all over again, yes, I had big time talent, but Chattanooga, God put me in the right position for me to be successful there at UTC.
Now, Coach, with God blessing you with your uncle stepping up and your papa as well, but your uncle being right there for you and pointing to you and just grooming you, then you go to college and you get groomed more and more. With all that happening, does that really prepare you like you wanted it to help all the players that you come in contact with now?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Despite all those things that were poured into me, I spent sometimes, I tell people, I don't live in a glass house. I like being open and transparent with people and telling the truth. And that's one thing I'm so thankful. God blessed me with the ability to spread the gospel and speak on my life. All that was poured into me. I still had my time in the wilderness, as I can say. What I was wondering, really trying to find who the real Carlos Locklyn. I spent my time, but the whole time I spent my time in the wilderness and wandering through this world, God was right there with me every step of the way. And those lessons that I had learned from my Papa Seals, the lessons I had learned from my Uncle Ray, and the many men who were pouring into me, those lessons it gave me a foundation of faith that knowing that no matter what I may be facing, no matter what I may be going through, I'll keep my faith. Keep my faith. And I tell people this all the time. The way I was living my life was not the right way God wanted me to live my life. But something that I learned, God don't ask for your perfection. He asks for you to be consistent. Now I knew I wasn't gonna never be perfect in my walk, but I wasn't being consistent. And when I started being consistent, that's when God started showing up more and more. And I started walking consistent every day. And I started walking consistent every day off of those lessons that my Papa Seals, off of those lessons that my Uncle Ray had taught me on my faith, and the many things that many men have poured into me. So it those things that they poured into me, it came into fruition later on as I matured as a man in life.
Coach. Now I hear you saying you played in the Gump Town at the famous Sidney Lanier High School. For a lot of young men who just looking at coach as coach, trust me, he come from a legendary background. Reggie Barlow, who's the head coach at Virginia State, he played at Sidney Lanier. Rest in peace to DeVar Jackson. He was a second round pick. He played at Sidney Lanier. And I remember y'all had a real good running back who played at Alabama State by the name of Kedrick Williams. He played at Sidney Lanier. So how was it, man, just knowing all that talent that came from there and seeing those guys go on and do the thing in the NFL, and how was that for you?
Well, Reggie, I know Reggie well. Matter of fact, saw him this summer there in Kennesaw, Georgia. Reggie was before me. Um, Keldrick and Tavares, they came after me. But you talking about, it's a whole bunch of players that came through Lanier. Geno James, who played with me, who played with the Panthers, who played at Auburn. Man, Bart Starr, Richmond Flowers. I'm talking about, man. It's so many great players who came through there. And it's a ton of players. Watching those guys, particularly in Reggie Barlow, that motivated me to want to go off to school and do something with myself. And like I said, during that time, man, Lanier to me was the school to go to. You talking about my mom graduated from there, my father, my uncles, my auntie, cousins. A lot of their teachers taught me in high school. So, I came up in that time where, the bands were big. And like I said, Lanier was like, to me, was the school and I wanted to, graduate from there. So, but I followed Tavares' career along with Keldrick because he came behind me and Christian Kuma. But we always had good athletes over there on that side of town. So, like I said, just, representing that school the best way I can as an athlete now, as a coach, is very important. It's very important to me. My uncle is the assistant principal over there now. So that has always been important to me, representing that area for kids who look like me in that area, who come up like me. It's been very important to me that I represent myself the best way that I can because of that high school and being a poet.
Now, coach, this is my last question, and I got to give a shout out to you because you seem like a respectable man, and I know you doing the same thing with your household. I got to give a shout out to your wife Victoria and your twin sons Donovan and Dorian.
Now,
And could
I
you?
got son and daughter. I got that kind of get people confused all the time. Me and my wife thought we was having two boys, and we had a little girl. So my son's name is Donovan, and my daughter's name is Dory.
Okay, so if you could break down the dynamics of being a coach and at the same time, because a lot of players need to know, y'all, and they know it too, but it's like a lot of people, like I said earlier, get so caught up in themselves and worrying about me, and not really even considering the coach, because the coach gonna always ask the player, "Hey, how you doing?" But a player almost never likely ask the coach how he doing. Every now and then they may ask, but just if you could give us a little insight how it is with you and your family as a coach and some of the dynamics of you and your family.
I'm gonna tell you something. I am so uh, thankful for my wife Victoria. me chasing this dream of, I got a late start into this coaching thing. I'm 43 years old, and this is my 5th year going into college. But I'm so thankful for my wife because she, left her, her good job here in Memphis in order for me to chase my dream. And she said that she believed in what God had called me to do. Now, me coaching high school ball and getting into college, and like I said, it has been some work. My wife has to reel me in sometimes. I am a very competitive person, so it could be times where people think, people are off. I'm never off. I'm always working. I'm always working on trying to improve myself in the coaching aspect. Matter of fact, I got a good friend that's the DB coach up there at Marshall, Dominic Bowman. So normally I'm calling him. We talking football all the time. I could be driving the car with my family. I'm always talking ball. And sometimes my wife had to reel me back in. She said, hey, baby, sometimes you got to turn yourself off. And that's something I have been struggling with, turning myself on and off when it comes to the game, because to some people it's a job. To me, it has been my lifestyle. It's been my life. So, man, my wife has been phenomenal with me making this transition, getting to college. She reels me in. She kind of keeps me steady. And my kids having going on this journey, and they get a chance to experience this. They, my kids and my daughter and my son, I mean, they pour so much into me, just telling me that you're a good coach. Hey, we're proud of you. Keep doing it. And they play a big role with my guys now that I got my own room. My wife and my kids play a big role with them. But man, I would not be where I'm at right now, without number one God blessing me with a wonderful helpmate, man, with my wife. I mean, I am the man that I am now because of that. Because of what she has poured in me, with the prayers she has prayed for me. Because like I said, when my wife, got with me, it'll be 20 years come here in September. We met in school, man. I was a boy who had to mature into a man. And it took a strong woman like her to walk with me on that process of maturing into the man that God had called me to be. So I'm thankful for her.
Coach, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wonderful story with us. And I just got to say, a lot of young men need people like you for us in the coaching room, because a lot of times life can just go by without any information of how to be successful and how to move forward in just being a man, and better yet, being a man of God. And that's what you are doing. You're pointing to the young men all across the country, but you're doing it in a major way through your social medias, and they see this. And then when you go into the room and you coaching your guys, they watching you and they seeing how you operate. So, Coach, I want to thank you for being the person that you are and just represent as a life and football person as well. We didn't see you with the life and football shirt. Matter of fact, it was a coach who actually told us before we ever saw you with the shirt on. A coach by the name of Michael Cole from Madison County. He saw you. It was at a Florida State practice or something one day, and we had him on the podcast. And he was like, "Yeah, I saw Coach Locke. He had one of you guys' shirts on, man." And and we want to thank you for that, Coach, because we just trying to spread a positive message, and you helping us do that. Just simply liking the tweet here or there, and you actually went out and bought the shirt too, Coach. So I just want to thank you for that. And y'all, this is Coach Locke, man, Western Kentucky. If y'all want to play with a good program, check them out, man. They got a big boy stadium, beautiful uniform, and Bowling Green is a place where you can grow as a man. And I'm going to leave y'all how I always leave y'all. Keep your head up and not down, or else you'll fall to the ground. This is the Life and Football Podcast. Catch you next time.
This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football.